Life is like a stairway, isn't it? You just keep on climbing. And so it is with learning music. You keep on progressing. And with every step that you take, more windows open. You have more questions to ask, more problems to be resolved. Well, I'm grateful for your comments, and particularly for the many questions that you ask, because they indicate to me your main areas of interest, and that helps to point me in what I can do here that would be useful to you. Well, I've been asked about the pentatonic scales and how to use them and so forth, and that's the topic that I want to address here. However, I've also been asked to say a bit more about the 4 magic notes, and I also wish to introduce you to a technique called chromaticism. So I think I'll square away these first and then get on to the pentatonic scales. Okay, so let me turn the camera here. Let me turn the camera here and put it onto this chart. Okay. You're seeing here a picture of the fretboard of a guitar, and these are the first 4 strings. That's the first string, the second string, third string, and I'm using the fretboard to illustrate, but of course the information that I am passing to you is universal. It doesn't matter if you play a steel pan or a concert flute or a violin or a double bass or whatever. You can improvise on any instrument, because it's the music you play and not the instrument. Isn't that right? Okay. Well, I'm illustrating here in the key of G, which you can see is on the first string at the 3rd fret, and then we have B flat down here on the 6th fret, also on the 1st string, and then we have E, which is on the 5th fret on the 2nd string, and D, which is on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. And if you will notice how this diagram is pictured, you could say that it's in a sort of a box shape, and that is useful because it means that the notes are easily available. They're very close together, and therefore in easy reach. Now let's take a closer look at these magic notes. The G chord will be G, B, which you have here on the 4th fret, on the 3rd string, G, B, D. That's the G chord. But then again, you have now the G minor chord, which would be G, B flat, and D. And of course, G, B flat, and D are 3 of the 4 magic notes. Then we have E. Now E is the 6th note in the G scale. It's the root note of the E minor chord, which is the relative minor in the key of G. And of course, the E minor chord is E, G, B. So it has a minor tonality, and we could call it, let us say, a power note. Now, as you know, it's the minor tonalities that add that bluesy coloration to your improvisations. And then we have D up here on the third fret on the second string. Now, the D note is the third note in the G chord, right? G, B, D. G is the third note. It's also the fifth note in the G scale, and it's called the dominant note in the G scale, so it's an important note. And so therefore, you know, that's the structure of the four magic notes. Now, the reason that they're called the four magic notes is because they sit well, and none of them will crunch when you play them over a 1, 4, 5 by 12 bar blues progression. You can play these four notes through the whole 12 bar blues progression, and none of them will sound bad or sour or wrong. So in short, you can't make a mistake with them. So that's why they're called the four magic notes, and they are a great way to get into improvising when you're first starting out. You can call them safe notes if you wish, but obviously there is a lot more that you can do with them, and this is where chromaticism comes in. So I want to tell you about chromaticism. What is chromaticism and how do you use it? Well, if you took any major scale and inserted a semitone between the whole notes of the scale, you'd have the chromatic scale of that particular key. Now, for example, if you took the G major scale and you inserted semitones, let's see how they would go. Look, you'd have G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, and the only other G scale note which is not in this rectangular box is F sharp, which is right here. So you go then F sharp, G, and you have the G chromatic scale. Now, how do you use chromaticism? Okay. What you do is when you're playing a phrase, instead of just using the the notes of the particular scale you're using, you begin to insert semitones in between the notes. Okay, now I've given a lot of information on this on the sidebar notes, and so therefore it's essential for you to read it. But if we could be a little bit poetic, you could say that dealing with the four magic notes, you could say that we have Detroit, right? We have Eureka over in California, we have Bridgeport, Connecticut, and we have our home port, Greensboro, in North Carolina. Now, guess what? We are coming to the end of the 10 minutes that I have allocated to me here. So I'm going to have to take a pause here, take a break here, and then I'll just carry on with what we might call volume 2 of this issue that we're dealing with. So hold tight, and let's go over to the next video and carry on. Take it easy.